Hey everyone. So today I'm just going to be talking about a bunch of different things. I was trying to move this so that half my face wasn't in darkness, but it just doesn't seem to be working. Okay, so anyway, sorry that it's like half dark. I've got all my lights on and my window open, but I guess I'm just going to be half bathed in darkness. Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk about is, I've mentioned how I've just got so many books and I need to stop getting more and borrowing books from the library. I mean, I want to keep borrowing books from the library, but I want to keep it under control so that I can actually make a dent in this monstrosity of never-ending double-piled books. So I've done a few things. First of all, last year I did the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge, and this year at the beginning of the year I thought I would do the Read Harder Challenge and the Pop Sugar Challenge, which the Read Harder Challenge is like maybe around 20 prompts, but the Pop Sugar is I think 50, which, you know, that's fine. I read tons of books, but it just becomes a distraction for me. Like, it's not even that I feel pressured to reach the goals or fill in the prompts. It's that it just adds to all the books that I'm hearing about, because I was in the Facebook groups and I was in the Goodreads groups, and I'm just constantly like, okay, what could I read for that? What are other people reading? Oh, that sounds good. Let me add that to my list. And it just becomes never-ending, more books on the never-ending books that I want to read, and that's where I start feeling like overwhelmed. So I decided that I left the groups, I threw away my lists, and I mean, I still know what a lot of the prompts are in my head, so I will still be like, oh, this would fit this, but I'm not going to worry about it, because I read really diversely anyway, so I don't really need that. It was fun last year because I was kind of getting back into the, I always read, but I had kind of slowed down, and when my children went to public school, because we used to homeschool, I had plenty of time to read, so it was helpful to get myself back into the swing of things, I guess, and see what new books are out there, but I just don't feel like I really need that as much anymore. So yeah, so that's the first thing. The second thing is I made myself some little like jars of books. In this one, let me see, one of these is, okay, so this is classics that I own, and this is nonfiction that I own. I'd like to get some larger like mason jars and do everything else. I don't know if I'm gonna separate them out like into YA and, you know, contemporary. I might mix them all up, just everything else. And then, oh, so the third one I have right now is Want to Read. And these are books that I don't own, but are on my Want to Read list. Like, I've got multiple sources for this. I have my Amazon wish list, I have Goodreads Want to Read, I've got sometimes when I go to the library and I don't want to borrow books, I'll just stand there and take pictures of all the books that are catching my eye on my phone. So I've added books to this that were pictures on my phone. What else? Oh, I've got Bookmooch. I've got a whole different wish list on Bookmooch. So I've taken from multiple sources books that I want to read and put them in here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is anytime, well, I've got a couple different ideas. I've got like anytime that I'm just feeling like I want to find something to read that I don't actually own, or I might do it like 2 books a month, like at the beginning when I'm making my TBR, just pick out 2 books from here that I'll actually have to do it like at maybe the middle or the end of the previous month so that I can have time to put a hold on it and get them from my library. But the point of this is to borrow books and have a little more organization to it instead of just randomly getting another stack of books that from the library that I then feel pressured to have to read. So 2 books from here a month, and then maybe like 1 classic, 1 nonfiction, and if I end up making a TBR jar, then, you know, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try to only participate in buddy reads that are books that I actually already own, or books that like I picked it out of the jar, which is difficult because I like buddy reading and it's fun to like do group buddy reads and stuff like that, but I really want to make a big dent in all of this behind me, and the one up there that you can't see, and I have more books in storage still. So yes, I need to really get this under control, or not that I need to, but I really do want to. I want to own books that I love, and that's another jar. I want to have another jar where, like, if I've borrowed a book from the library from the want to read jar, or if I like books that I've read in the past that I don't own, I want to make another jar that's want to buy. And then whenever I do finally, whenever I'm finally ready to buy some books again, I can pick out of that jar. Like if I give myself a certain number or a certain budget or something, I can just pick out of that jar. So I thought that might be fun and a good way to keep track of what I have read and that I do want to buy and own in my permanent collection. Okay, so that's that. I also wanted to talk about library summer reading programs. I'm curious what your libraries do during the summer. The library that we go to is, we live in southern New Hampshire, and our town library is quite small, and it's very difficult. When we first moved to this town, like 6 or 7 years ago, you know, it could have gotten better by now, but it's doubtful. Excuse me. Interlibrary loans, I couldn't just go into the website and put a hold on it myself. I would have to do it through the librarian and fill out a little piece of paper, and then they would eventually put a hold on it, and then eventually it would come in, because we're a small town and we would only get deliveries like once a week, and that depends on the weather. And during the winter, you know, it would take months to get interlibrary loans, and frankly, the librarians just weren't all that friendly, and they didn't seem to love having my kids there with me. And so anyway, long story short, we started going to a library. It's only about 10 miles away, but it's across the border in Massachusetts, and we love it, and everyone there is wonderful and nice and friendly, and there's a great children's room, and a lot of the time I will just sit in the children's room and read, and it's quiet-ish, depending how busy it is, but, and they have a huge selection, and they have tons of things going on there, and their summer reading program is amazing. They not only have a children's reading program where you get like a raffle ticket for every 100 minutes that you read, and then they have tons of prizes, and you can put your raffle ticket in the corresponding box to the prize that you want to win. They have the same thing for adults. Teens and adults are all one separate contest, and you get a ticket for every book that you read. Then you can also get extra bonus tickets for different challenges, such as like for one of the kids' challenges is read a book to somebody long distance, so get on Skype or on the phone and read a book to somebody, read a book to an animal. Some of the adult challenges are read 2 books by the same author, read a biography, that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun, and we have prizes for the adults are things like $25 gift certificate to Amazon, $25 gift certificate to Barnes & Noble. Some local businesses have gift cards they're giving away. I'm trying to remember. There's one that's 2 tote bags, 2 bookish tote bags. Yeah, so there's tons of stuff, and I'm just curious if other libraries around the country or around the world do summer reading programs, and what do you think? And there's also like special programs over the summer, like our library has like a small Comic-Con. There's animal like programs. There's special book discussion book groups. Like they have that around the year, but during the summer it like goes with the theme. So yeah, so anyway, I'm just really curious about everyone else's libraries. What else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about, okay, this is just a little mini quick rant. I've watched 2 videos, I think, just recently, like in the last 24 hours, where the booktuber was talking about like having read a novella, but that didn't count, or they didn't count that towards their monthly amount of books they read, and that irritates me. Novellas are like, wouldn't even call them a book. Like, it's not really a book. Well, yes it is. I mean, it's a short book, but it's still a book. Novellas, short, just a story that's a short story, individually bound. It's still a book. Like, I mean, if you don't want to include it in your totals, that's your business, but like, not even being willing to call it a book is just weird. Like, it's a book. Like, Kim, from Kim here, just sent me her book. It's very short. It's under 60 pages. It's like a short story, but it's still, like, this is called a book. It's a book. Okay, and I will probably count it towards my book total when I do read it. I read The Little Prince for the first time this year. I counted that towards my Goodreads reading challenge goal, because it's a book. It's a well-known book, and I read it for the first time, so I'm counting it. So that's just a little mini rant, like, that just irritated me. Okay, okay, so I wanted to tell you guys about Viewathon. Riley at RMVicVac, who also started and hosts Borrowathon, is doing Viewathon. I believe it's August 7th through 13th. I don't have my planner right here next to me. It's marked in my planner already. But she has, I think it's 25 challenges. You don't have to meet them all. They're just kind of like ideas, but it sounds like it's going to be a great way to catch up on shows and movies that I've been wanting to watch. So there's prompts like watch a show, a series, or a movie that takes place in summer or whatever season you're in if you're in a different part of the world. Complete a series that you have been meaning to finish. Watch a series or movie that you've been wanting to watch. Watch something that everyone else has already seen but you haven't gotten to. Watch something that was directed or created by a marginalized a member of a marginalized group, just all sorts of great prompts like that. So it sounds like a lot of fun. And oh, one of the challenges is to buddy watch something, and so that could be with someone in real life or online. And I mentioned this website called Rabbit. It's rabb.it. That's it. There's no .com. It's just .it. And it's basically like a browser within a browser. So you're on this website, and then it has another little browser. There's different. Okay, so you can create a room, and then in this room is this browser, and the person that has started the room can go to Netflix, Prime, gaming websites, like pretty much anything. And then you can, if it's a private room, I think you can invite up to, I think you can have up to 20 people in this room watching or doing whatever on this other website with you. So I have done Netflix group watches on this website before. So when I do make my TBW, to be watched, when it gets closer to the viewathon, if you see anything that I'm going to be watching that you're also interested in watching, we can buddy watch on this website, and I can have up to, like I said, 20 people. So, you know, I'd love to do that, and anyone can make a website and open a room and like host a group, but I just thought I'd offer to do that. So I'm really looking forward to that. There is a Twitter account, viewathon, and you can go check out Riley's announcement. I will try to, once I get this uploaded, I will go on and add the links below. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about is an idea I had for a readathon. And I don't think that anyone has done it. I've looked around. So if you know of someone that already does this, please let me know in the comments. But I would love to do like a ebook-a-thon or e-readerathon or digital book-a-thon, or I'm not sure what it could be called that is catchy. But I don't know about everyone else, but I have hundreds of books on my Kindle. I just pick them up when they're free or cheap, or I get a lot from NetGalley and other places to review them, and I then tend to forget about them, or not that I forget about them, but I tend to kind of put it second place, and like I don't actually put them on my TBR. And especially since I've been booktubing and paying more attention, I feel like I've been paying more attention to my physical books, and my TBRs tend to be more for my physical books. So I really would love to have a week or so where I have a readathon where I'm really paying attention to trying to get through a bunch of ebooks. And I have a couple apps on my phone with ebooks where I don't really read on my phone, so I don't pay attention to them. I just start them and never really finish them. So yeah, I'm curious if people would be interested in that, if there's anyone out there that would be interested in hosting that with me. Just let me know your thoughts. I was even thinking about, well, maybe it could be like a digital book-a-thon, and it could be ebooks and audio, but let me know what you think. I'd love to try to set something like that up. So I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. If you've watched me ramble this whole time, thank you very much. Let me know below what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. And like. Yeah, that's the other thing. Give me a like. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.